The community of learners is an approach where it creates a culture of foundational values that students are able to connect with through prompting of questions such as using the 4 C's, the commitment, control being self-control, cooperation and communication.
Community of learners is a great idea because the thing I like about it is that you're encompassing all those things we want for lifelong skills. You're trying to teach the kindergarten kids how to get along with older kids and interact with them, and vice versa for the older kids, how to mentor and help the little kids and the smaller children learn values, skills, how to play on the playground, all those kind of things. So we think it's fabulous at this school that we look at those things.
One of it is they know how to respond and to act with people their own age, people younger, people older. They know how to act in a group on their own and know how to be a bit more responsible, and it gives them a sense of pride when they're using these 4 C's.
I wish we had grade 11s coming because I remember talking to some of the kids at Koltai, and they asked me about high school and stuff like that, and they were like, oh, you know, what's it like?
We were looking at the concept of community of learners with a grade 6-7 group, and trying to engage them as learners so that they would be empowered to transition into a secondary school setting.
I think we all have different important roles that we all have, but I think that in every way they're kind of special. Like, everyone's role in a community is different, and it makes it who it is, what the community is.
My students and the teachers that I'm working with are all saying it's common language. It's something that we all can share.
They were very knowledgeable. They had already known what all the community of learners was, and so we would mention one of the 4 C's, communication, commitment, cooperation, and control. And if they were roughhousing, we would say, please control yourself. They would just sit right back up, listen.
South Wellington is a small rural school. They were a kind of unique setting to undertake this kind of project. We've never done it with a whole entire school and staff simultaneously, so it's been together, both groups, and both the teachers and the students constructed meaning around the process together.
Today we went to South Wellington Elementary School, and we taught them about the community of learners and all the stuff about physical activity that we've been doing in our school.
Communication was one of the main ones, because with communication you had to listen to the person who was calling out the moves, and then you had to cooperate with each other, because most times there will be 3 people, and you can't have only one person jumping the entire time. You have to be able to switch. What we had noticed that for some kids 3 steps was just enough. It was complicated enough and they were enjoying themselves, but as they got through, the older they were, the more bored they got with it. So by adding another step, it was more complicated and a bit more interesting to them.
The learning environment, we had more groups, and so with less people I learned that like with less children you can do more one-on-one time, so you can teach them more. But when we went to South Wellington, we had 15 in one group, and I realized that when you have a bigger group, it's hard to get all the information out to every single one of them.
A lot of students have taken this outside of their schooling environment, particularly students that are in the workplace now. Even those that are babysitting younger kids. They're saying that the community of learners, this code of conduct, is something that they can use when they're in a staff meeting, or they're noting that some of their friends are not really using self-control or respectful communication.
It is difficult for a lot of teachers because they do have classrooms of 20 or sometimes like 25 and stuff like that. So for me to experience going in and teaching a small group of kids, I like that because I never had that myself. I was always in a classroom full of like 20, 25 kids. And I think it's better for the kids because it's easier for them to learn. They liked the fact that we were from high school teaching them because, you know, teachers have been a long way from high school, and I think some teachers kind of forget what it's like to be a kid, and we just, you know, it was easy for us to just bond with them more and explain things easier for them.